When I started, I was overwhelmed. I was overweight. I was tired. I was falling asleep at my desk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I couldn't get through my day. I couldn't support my family or really do my job without being absolutely exhausted. I was grouchy. I felt like I was going to eat my husband and my kids alive most days, especially closer to that time of month. And now, like you said, I'm a completely changed person. I'm happier, I'm calmer, I'm stable. I don't feel like I'm going to eat anyone alive anymore. I feel good. I have energy. I do long days. I have a full-time job. We have 4 kids at home. We have a business, and I can do that no problem. I feel, again, like a whole new person.
How's your sleep?
Way better. Progesterone really helped with that. So before, I would have a spotty, interrupted night of sleep. I woke up to every sound in the house. And then I was not feeling rested the next day. Now I consistently go to bed at about 8:30 to 9:30. I sleep a good 7 or 8 hours without waking up. It's amazing, and it's changed my life. Like, it's made things way better for me and for my family.
And then your cycles were really...
Oh yeah, super heavy. So I had really heavy, horrible for years. Probably after I had my twins, and they're 15 now. I suffered. I had really heavy periods. I was traveling for work. I work in maintenance, so I work with a group of men and male technicians, and I'm sitting in meeting rooms and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I gonna bleed through my underwear, my pads again? Like, it's so mortifying and embarrassing, and now that's all gone. It's like regular 3-day periods feels so much better.
Clockwork, you said.
Clockwork.
Hey?
Yes, like clockwork.
And then the thing is, you tried all those diets.
Yep.
And you weren't losing weight. You're only down 5 pounds, but you said your clothing size changed by 2.
Like 2 sizes. Yeah.
And you're only, like, keto worked, but you couldn't get rid of the belly fat.
No.
And so this whole process that we do helped you to trim the belly fat. That's what I love most about the metabolic optimizer and the whole process.
It's
that
going
we do.
away. I haven't been able to get rid of it since having kids, and my youngest is 10, so that's a big deal for me.
You're
Melting away.
Well, it's not magical because you are doing the work though, right? And you said you were overwhelmed when you started with the whole process.
Yes.
And you thought there were things.
When we sat down, I remember doing all the blood work and you going through, I was just like, how am I resolving any of this? Like, it's taken me how many years to get in front of you. Now here we've got a problem. How are we going to figure out a plan? But slowly and surely we got there. And we're only 5 months. It's like I suffered for years. 5 months in and all of these changes, it's changed my world.
And your skin.
Yeah, it's so healthy. No breakouts. I feel like I'm less wrinkly than I was. I mean, I've always had wrinkles because I have laugh lines, but definitely way better. And then I'm not breaking out, but my pores don't show as much anymore either. I don't have to wear as much makeup, which is really nice as well.
And people have said things to you.
Yes, I've had compliments saying that I'm glowing and I seem really happy and I look really healthy. So it's nice to hear.
Because you said your hair is healthier.
Yeah, it's way
skin,
healthier.
And that glow comes from all those nutrients that feed your body in such an absorbable.
But I've learned a lot through this too, just how bad toxins are. Like, I don't think in general people really understand how bad that stuff is and how much of it you absorb. So I'm a lot more cognizant of buying organic food, careful about what I put in my body, the cleaners that we use, things like that, because it all really affects you. And if I'm like this, my daughter and my sons probably have the same issues. So I'm doing them a favor by learning this and learning better tactics on dealing with it, so I'm not loading my body with toxins and feeding it bad stuff.
I'm so glad you brought that up because so many people do it temporarily just for the reset phase that we put you through, right?
Yeah.
And then after that they forget about it and then they slowly go back to adding things in and then a year later I'm talking to them and it's like, you're doing what? Well, what do you mean you're using Tide for your laundry? And they're like, and so I'm glad you brought that up because, estrogen dominance is such a big deal for so many women. And they think that just balancing hormones means taking a prescription, whereas it's the lifestyle and the other things that you're doing that make the difference, and that's what's going to carry you with your results forward.
Well, it's like the 80-20 rule. And I think when I got into this, both me and my husband said, this is not This is not we're going to do this for the next 3 months. This is like, this is a lifetime change. We're making this and we're sticking to this. And so doing the 80-20, like, yeah, you can cheat, but there's going to be repercussions. But trying to stick to the schedule the 80% of the time and have fun once in a while, but know that you're going to pay for it.
I'm sorry, who went on holidays for how long through this process?
A couple of times I went
More
away.
than once,
Yeah.
yes. So
But we did try to stick, like, I avoided dairy. I tried to stick to no caffeine. I make sure I took my supplements, and so I tried to stick to it as much as I could. But yeah, I'm not.
But you still had a good time. You didn't feel like
No.
you were gonna die without
No.
having any fun
No.
on that.
You just become more innately aware of how bad things are, and so you're a lot more careful about the choices that you're making. with
Because
your
you know
food.
they make you feel worse, right?
Yeah.
And they interfere
Yeah.
with this progress, which is so great to have.
And I don't ever want to go back to who I was in December. I don't want to eat my family alive and things like that anymore. I'm happy with the way I am. Why would I do anything to change it?
Yeah, I wish I'd made note, but you said something about how you were emotionally unstable. Like you said you just didn't feel
like a human. It was like you said, it's like, you know, something's wrong. It's not right. You're cognizant of the fact that you're grouchy and you're snippy and snappy, but you just can't do anything about it. So you're unstable. You're like this. And now it's just, right? Problem comes up. All right, I can deal with it. Before me, with the unstable, a problem comes up. Oh my God, it's the end of the world, right? And so now it's a lot different, right? You can deal with it a lot better. It's like, when you're unstable, you're like a wall. So people are trying to feed things in, but you're not taking any of it on board. When you're stable, okay, I can take that in and digest it and make sense of it and understand it and process it and do something with it. Yeah.
Implement.
100%.
Yeah. And then the sleep, you were saying that you reacted. Some would wire you, some things you took for sleep.
Taking sleeping medication before used to be what I thought to be the solution, especially when I was traveling a lot for work and and I can't, I'm really sensitive to medication, Advil, Tylenol, any of that kind of stuff, probably because of how I process stuff. And if I take a sleeping pill, it's a real fine line between I'm jittery and it's like I've overdosed on it and I can't sleep at all, or maybe I might get a good sleep. Whereas progesterone, I take the progesterone and I sleep great, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, you called it magical.
It is magical. 100%.
A good sleep is seriously magical.
Yes, yeah. The older I get, the more magical sleep is. My son's like, I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go sleep. I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to sleep?
So your cortisols were
through the roof. Yeah.
When you came in.
Yeah, I was really stressed out, really high stress.
And now that they're more balanced,
normal.
how do you feel?
I'm so much better.
Yeah.
I think cutting out caffeine in the morning really helped, because I think about it, I had really sky high cortisol and then I got jacked up on caffeine. Not a good idea. So not having caffeine in the morning has really helped with that, and I think that's leveling that out.
Affects how you can use the hormones you have. So when we talk about the sex hormones, we also talk about the life-sustaining hormones, and cortisol, thyroid, insulin. Those are your life-sustaining hormones. And when those are out of balance, so if you have too high or too low cortisol, your cells cannot sense that you have the progesterone or the estrogen or the testosterone. Like, we haven't given you any testosterone, but now you're building muscle. You said you're finding your abs again.
Yeah,
right?
they're here.
But I didn't need to give you testosterone to do that.
No, it was natural.
And that's just from balancing the cortisol,
yeah.
Getting everything else under control, and you can see that your body is making its own at really good levels today. Like I just said to you, we're not giving you testosterone today. We're not giving you anything more. You're at
which
the
I like
levels.
Because I always struggled with the doctors just prescribing you something. You know, I'm like, there's got to be a better way, right? I remember you saying, "Yeah, we're gonna get you off the birth control pill." I'm like, "Oh, what's gonna happen? Am I going to be bleeding everywhere again?" And no, because everything else was in balance and I had, the supplements to support it. It's been great.
Will you stop those supplements?
No, never.
Why?
I was like, I'm a patient for life, because I don't want to go back to that. I do not want to go back to that imbalance and how that feels.
And you feel better on the supplements.
100%. Yeah.
And if you miss them, you notice.
I do. Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing your story and having this conversation.
Hopefully you can get some good content out of it. What is your name?
Twyla Kardakis. And
Twyla. Kardakis.
Tell us more about what you do.
I am in asset management, operations and maintenance for an oil and gas company, and I am also a mom. I have 4 of my own children and 2 stepdaughters, and my husband also works full time, and we run a business as well.
So you need your brain.
Yeah, I need my brain, and I need to be able to be on the go 12, 13 hours a day without needing a nap, even at 43.
Thank you.
You're welcome.